And let's go live. So thank you everyone for joining the first quarterly partner briefing. I'm really pleased to see so many people that have signed up for this quarterly partner briefing. I also would like to take the opportunity to thank Dimitri, our General Marketing Director, who has taken the initiative to basically start this initiative. I also think it's very, very important that we do this because there's a lot of things happening and a lot of things have happened over the last 2 years. We will not put everything of what happened in those 2 years in this call, but we will focus on the most important things that happened and basically tell you, give you a highlight, an idea of what will start in Q3, but also what is going forward. I'm very happy that I'm not doing this alone. So let me share with you who our presenters for today. So today I'm being joined by Ryan Bonds, who is our Vice President of Global Professional Services, recently promoted to VP, so congratulations, Ryan. And of course, my manager, Shep Park, who's the VP of Partnerships and Alliances. Originally, we also invited Damon, but Damon is held up in a partner meeting in India because of quarter-end obligations, but his part will be taken by my colleague, Shep. So without further ado, I would like to basically share with you some of the key highlights, Q4 plans, and the most important partner-related updates. So with that, this is the agenda that we are going through today. So first we will go through the Q3 highlights and Q4 plans. I will give you an overview of that. Then I will hand over to my colleague Shep Park for the Pathlock evolutionary vision. And then I'm very happy to hand over to Ryan, who will give you an idea of what professional services can do and how we would like to operate with you as a partner. And then we will also have a technical partnership updates around Microsoft and ServiceNow. And I tell you, these are very exciting technical partnerships that not only have a partnership, but they also represent a very technical, integrated partnership. And then lastly, we're closing off with Q&A. If you have any questions during this presentation or during the presentation of my colleagues, I basically invite you to use the team chat. And at the end, during the Q&A session, my colleague Dimitri will basically gather the input and the questions, and he will ask them to the panel and make sure that you are that you will get the answers that you require. Now, let's start with the general update about the Q3 and Q4 plans. So first, let's start and share the Q3 highlights. When you talk about Q3 highlights, I think one of the most important things that I'm personally very proud of is that we as a team are striving to one of the best quarters ever in the history. So not only is that a great effort from the people at Pathlock, but also partners are already playing a very, very important role in achieving and growing the Pathlock revenue. So thank you for that. The next thing that I wanted to recognize is basically the analyst recognition. Pathlock has been recognized as a sample vendor in the Gartner Hype Cycle for cyber risk management. And I can guarantee you there's more recognition coming soon. I also would like to share with you something that we call the free SAP vulnerability scanner. As you probably know, vulnerability management is part of our CAC solution suite that is part of the bigger Pathlock offering. And basically what we are offering with the vulnerability scanner is giving you and your customers the opportunity to check how secure or vulnerable the SAP environment is. So you can basically download this free SAP vulnerability scanner from our website. And if you require any assistance, you can also send out an email or contact your local account executive or the partner team. The other aspect that I wanted to share with you is that we make huge upgrades to our website, and especially the partner side. And again, I have to thank our marketing department for basically driving this change. So not only you will see, end-user customers can better recognize, which partners are located where and what kind of competencies do they have, but it will also give you a much better overview of our technologies and basically provide you with detailed information about, for example, specific teams. So you will have white papers, documents around specific themes, like, for example, governance or elevated access management. And those can be downloaded from our website as well. And please make sure that you regularly go to our website to view those updates, because we are not ready with making all of the changes. And you will see some very interesting changes coming up in the future as well on the partner community. Then let's have a quick look at what is happening in Q4. So on request of many partners, we are working on what we call a new simplified pricing model. So customers and partners can make the most of our solution. This partner pricing model will become available during the month of October. And basically, it is really very, very simple. Instead of looking at the number of users and the number of connectors, we are thinking of moving away and only moving towards the number of users, making it way simpler to quote our customers. And what you will also see is that this pricing is really competitive towards the market. The other point that we are changing and coming up is that during Q4, we will release our new Pathlock Cloud. We will release version 3.0. This will have policy-driven workflows, enhanced certifications, and improved risk analysis reporting. And if you are not able to basically look to the new solution yourself, you can always visit us at the events that we are participating. And some of the events that we are participating is not only the SAP-specific events like the German DSAG, where we were attending, but next week we will also attend the Dutch SAP user group. And of course, we will be available at SAP Insider, Gartner, Educause, ITSA Expo, and we will also attend in Germany, for example, some of the espresso tutorials. So as you can see, we are more and more getting active and more visible in all kinds of events, and we hope to see you there and welcome you there. Now, without further ado, the next on the agenda is basically our presentation of the evolutionary vision. Initially, it was presented by Damon, but unfortunately, Damon can't come to the call. He's held up in India with a partner meeting over there. But nevertheless, we have my manager, Shep Park, who's able to share this vision with you as well. And I'm happy to share the stage with you, Shep. So over to you.
Thank you, Peter. And very much echo that we are grateful for you partners. I think we've shared some of this vision with some of you, not all. When Damon first poked me on the shoulder in the fall of 23 or 22 to come join and help build Pathlock, leaving Delinea after having built Savient over 4 years, I was intrigued with the aspiration that Vertica Capital Partners had to spend $200 million to buy the remaining GRC controls intellectual property. And what you're going to see unfold here over the next quarter, probably going into the Q1 calendar of 26, is a integration of hybrid access controls, not just SAP, but across Oracle, across Workday, and we're increasingly partnering with Salesforce as Salesforce processes, automated processes become regulated. The important thing here is that it is a convergence of risk control is really the heartbeat. And it happens at 3 levels. There's, of course, the provisioning of compliant access, which has been extremely difficult to do. I know because I lived through several custom builds with a couple of companies and that are no longer installed because they're too heavy. So the platform that we are building right now brings together both the compliant provisioning, more importantly, probably at the front is the access risk analysis to establish the fact base, especially in hybrid ERP environments, to really know what and be able to prioritize your most important risk. And again, our platform is the platform. It is intended to provide you as experts this intelligence so that you can help your clients. So compliant provisioning is what's available today across quite an array of applications. Shortly, we'll be launching the continuous controls monitoring, and this is really the game changer, where for your most important transactions, not all, you need to be able to monitor those transactions and know within a short period of time if you have a material business risk that should be addressed now, not if you happen to find it with sample-based testing. The third layer is at the infrastructure layer, the application infrastructure layer, where we are bringing together capabilities that have you think about some of the other providers that are very expensive. So we can ensure that the applications are updated correctly. We can execute data masking. And so it is a complete platform. And that's the vision. And we'll be able to share more about this. Our new Chief Technology Officer, Haviv Roche, he's coming on a year in, joined from ServiceNow and brought over quite a few of his top developers, engineers. And so in addition to creating this type of risk control platform, we are also moving from a containerized architecture that could run from anywhere. And our first 90 Pathlock Cloud customers were delivered from containerized from AWS. That's all transitioning now. We're redoing the core platform architecture to be fully SaaS enabled. And the preference is to run it from Azure because we're SQL based. So it's a fundamental thing that's happening here. And it's not just the core functions of risk control, it's also the connectivity and the integrations. And we'll talk more about how that applies to Microsoft and ServiceNow in a few minutes. I think some of you have seen this thing, but this picture is intended to, when you come into a traditional identity provisioning, footprint, the GRC and the access risk control and the vulnerability management, the whole infrastructure stuff has all been separate for quite a few years. And we're bringing it together, but we're really focused entirely on the fine-grained, both compliant provisioning and controls aspect of it. We believe that is the most important cyber risk going forward for digital businesses. And we're seeing that happen around the world. So we're excited about where we're headed. And you'll see more as we close the year. And now I'd love to have our leader of professional services globally share some great updates on his front.
Thank you guys. Definitely excited. Thank you guys. Definitely excited to speak to some of the items we're doing within the professional services arena. I think over the last year, we definitely made a lot of updates and great movement in our services organization. Really thinking through partnership. How can we work well with partners? How can we make sure partners are able to implement our Pathlock Cloud products and ensure the success of both partners as well as our customers. So thinking through that, we've had quite a few very successful projects throughout the last 12 months. A lot of great go lives, particularly in the last quarter. Look at some of the go lives that we've had, definitely in March. Similar to this company, global company, 20 billion plus, went live with all 4 modules of our Pathlock Cloud. This was a S4 migration project, which they used Pathlock to enable their users and really overall improve the experience of the governance space. So going live, provisioning module, user access reviews, access requests, as well as elevated access management. This is a platform that yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear.
There's an echo on your mic.
Oh. Let me see how let me change that. Is this better?
Yo, this is much better. Thank you.
Okay, I apologize. So for Q3, we had a major go live of a consumer product company. Went live with all 4 modules. They had a total of 43 instances of SAP S4 that went live. So very large landscape, very successful project, and a lot of detailed use cases that were implemented. Very key piece of this was our compliant provisioning module, which had a lot of different workflows that were built for this particular project. Ultimately, we were brought in to replace our several other homegrown as well as products into Pathlock Cloud. So a very successful project. We also had a telecom provider, very large customer, 2 billion plus. This was in the APAC region. They went live with our application access governance module for Oracle, which this was something that was very unique to a lot of our customers, being able to provision to a EBS and also a Fusion platform. Very, very well-known company, very complex company, which had a lot of users, 3,000 plus users, and in the market. So these large companies that went by, very large projects, definitely shows our commitment to be committed to larger instances, as well as ensuring that the partners that we work with these particular customers were set up for success. The consumer product company was led by definitely a large partner along with us, and really ensured that that partner was set up for success. We worked along with them to ensure that they had all the resources that they need, as well as all the skills that they needed to go live with this customer. And the same with the other telecom customer. The partner which really drove the project. Our teams worked along with them from an architecture perspective, as well as some of the technical skills needed. But ultimately, the partner was set up for success here at both of these projects. So look at how we are looking to engage with partners going forward. One thing we've been working on quite a bit is our model of how we support partners to ensure that as a whole, our partners are able to implement our product and then also get what they need to be enabled going forward. So this graph shows, high level, the 4 different entry points of how partners can get engaged with our services in our different areas of Pathlock. So from an implementation assistance perspective, most of the time partners would interact with our professional services team. We have several different packages, and I'll show those here in a minute, that we can really work with customers or partners, to ensure that they get the support that they need throughout their implementation. The context there is our partner success team, as well as our regional leaders, who can enable the partners and really make sure that they're getting what they need to be successful. As it relates to product, this is one that we get very, very frequently. So how can partners ensure that they're getting the product level implementation capability questions answered? We do have a partner success team, which we're slowly introducing that to certain partners as they're getting engaged into certain projects. A partner success team really can engage and get all the online documentation created, issued or communicated out to you. They can also review all the forms and add anything else that we have available for partners to get all of the information needed for a particular product functionality. A partner success team also is able to really connect to certain SMEs within Pathlock to ensure that you have all the information and have the right people that you need for your projects. Then ultimately reaching out to a partner success team for any other questions that you might have on the product. That team would be someone that you would be engaged with throughout your project. And then if you need anything else, that point of contact can really connect the dots with everything within Pathlock. As it relates to product bugs and defects, that's when our customer platform support team comes in play. So we are looking to define that process and communicate out to all the partners. When you're on a project and there are bugs, there are defects that happen with the product, and that does happen. The process of creating tickets and working with our support teams to really get that support that you need for those product level support items is something that we do through Fresh Dev. So that's also something our partner success team can really engage and make sure that the process is communicated to partners. Then lastly, our training and enablement. This is something that most partners have already been engaged in, but if not, this is where Chef and his team really helps drive the enrolling of the training that's needed within our Pathlock University platform, as well as if there is any type of instructor-led training that needs to be conducted. That's also where that team can register and make sure that partners are signed up for that. Along with our CSMs and of course our partner success teams can also do some of that. But the partner and alliance teams under Shep are really the teams that drive a lot of the signing up of training and enablement there. So So this will continue to evolve. This is just a snapshot of all the different ways that partners can engage Pathlock in all the different ways. We'll continue to grow this and make sure that partners have everything that they need to be successful in the projects, and then just know exactly how to reach out to certain areas within Pathlock. So as I mentioned, as we continue to grow, this is going to be a key area to make sure that we are giving partners all the support that they need. Ultimately, as a organization, we will not expand our services team, too much more in 26. We're moving more towards a partner-focused delivery model, where we want partners to really grow their practices of Pathlock, ensuring that they're able to drive projects directly with customers without the need of Pathlock being involved, and also reducing the amount of projects that Pathlock delivers directly with customers. So with that, we will be offering more packages to support partners in the projects that they're delivering for customers. So these are two different packages we have right now. I will say the first one is probably the most popular, where partners really can purchase a lump sum of hours that they can use across multiple projects to get the type of support that they need. So whether it's best practices, solving complex problems, triaging issues, for projects, Pathlock platform setup, configuration, any type of connector, implementation support, and then also some type of dedicated agent or expedited response to issues. So these are things that we will do for partners across all the projects that they're working on. So we can break this up into 100, 250, 500 hours, depending on how many hours you need, how many projects you're running, and really provide that back end support that partners are needing to feel comfortable that they have what they need to be to deliver at a customer. The expert service package that we have that is more custom. This is more aligned to certain deliverables. So if you have certain things that you want Pathlock to do and be responsible for on the project, that's where we would come in, scope that out, and make sure that we're able to have a statement of work for a partner project, and Pathlock will be able to deliver that based on certain deliverables that are out there. So these are the two packages that we have right now. I'm very flexible with them. If there's more questions around this as far as pricing, things of that matter, I can talk to you offline about that. But ultimately, this really the goal here is to make sure you have the backing of Pathlock throughout your projects, reinforce some of the skills that you guys need on your projects, and really ensure that you have the confidence going into your projects to accelerate any type of implementation that you're doing for customers. So these are additional packages that we have. So these are full end-to-end packages. So we have a AAG package. So this is a full implementation package that you can sell to your customers if you're wanting to. These are fully implemented packages that Pathlock professional services could do. So we do have some partners that they want us to really do all the implementation end to end. So these are packages that I can definitely share more insight on. But this is end to end, where we would do a full implementation for a partner, ensuring that your Pathlock is really the full end to end delivery technical team for this particular engagement. So we have the full AAG, which is all four modules. We have the higher ed, which is really more people focused. We have a lot of universities that really look to use Pathlock. So we have that, which this was mainly focused on PeopleSoft and delivering some of the provisioning items, as well as certifications across up to 5 applications. We are getting more into the IGA space, so we do have an IGA specific package, which is really just focused on onboarding up to 5 applications, 0-day access, a lot of birthright access that can be provisioned here. We do have the course screening risk that comes along with this package, certifications, as well as, like I mentioned, provisioning. So these are all items that can be delivered as part of this package. Then lastly, there's a technical account manager customer success package. So this package is generally for a customer that's already live that would like to do more with their platform. If they're wanting health checks, they want to need some configuration advice, some design architecture reviews. This package really comes into play where we provide a resource or resources that will be aligned with the customer over a period of time. This could also be something that could be aligned with a partner period of time for a partner throughout their engagement. So all four of these packages really are very flexible. We're really starting to see a lot of uptick, and but on the partner front, this is something that you guys could take to your customers and understand this is what Pathlock will be responsible for delivering. Like I said, there's white papers we have for all these that gives a lot more detail. We can provide those at a later date. Then lastly, on the service delivery side, what we've defined here is a RACI for what partners are responsible for, as well as what Pathlock is responsible for. So as we work with partners on projects, we often get asked, hey, what does Pathlock do in regards, or what is Pathlock responsible for on partner projects? At this point in time, we do step in and provisioning the environments, installing the connectors, doing all the work that getting the platform set up. That is something that typically Pathlock would be responsible for, making sure that the platform is set up for success, as well as responsibilities for Pathlock that we like to be involved in. Typically, on partner projects is the definition or the defect resolution of set UIDT. Reason being that in most cases, partners need some help with those items, ensuring that the resolutions are happening in a timely manner, and also ensuring that we're teaching partners how to manage the platform going forward. These items I would say right now we're responsible for, but as partners get more and more knowledgeable of Pathlock product, these are the items I would see partners taking more responsibility of. And then also something I did say at the beginning, when you think about some of the discovery and design responsibilities, we really like to be involved in some of those items as well, to make sure as partners are going through those sessions with customers, they're actually thinking through the best ways of doing things within the platform. So that's something that, from a consulting and informing us, what are those design or use cases that you're working on with customers. This allows us to make sure that partners are configuring or designing the platform in the best way, and really taking a lot of the best practices in consideration. So this is a RACI, kind of a generic RACI that we have for most projects. As we evolve as an organization, as I mentioned, we want more and more to be on the partners to make sure you have the skill set and are able to really drive the projects in the way that you see fit, and really ensuring that you're set up for success and you can replicate everything that you're doing for partners, for customers across the board. So, but this is our RACI, and we can share this as well as you're engaging in projects and looking to see exactly how we can assist you on your customer projects. That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you, Ryan. It's really, really good to see the packaged approaches in the RACI charts. Those make things much more clear. Just want to emphasize, though, that we want you, our partners, priming this work and leading it 100%. And so thank you. Let's shift and take a look at what I consider to be pretty foundational, but strategically foundational relationship upgrades that we've just achieved. This is something that I didn't know existed at Microsoft. Some of you may know, but the thing that has impressed me quite a bit over the last 4 years has been the Microsoft security business revenue growth. It may have crested $30 billion. It used to be an overlay business unit. Now it's a primary business unit. And what's happened in the last, we've been at this for almost 2 years with the product team, going through tightly engineered integration with Microsoft Entra ID governance. We also are just about to release we call it a business risk event integration with Microsoft Sentinel. But the point I want to highlight for you is the Microsoft Enterprise Managed point. This happened about 4 weeks ago at the turn of their fiscal year, which is July 1. Microsoft has a high-tech sales vertical globally. They have a growth portfolio that focuses on late stage, they call them digital natives, but late stage startups like us. And depending upon our approach to the world from a solution delivery perspective, cloud commitment, that type of thing, they choose to nominate and evaluate and consider investing in strategic software companies. And we are now Microsoft managed from both a Microsoft customer perspective, but also we have a partner development manager, and this is a global relationship. And what it is the Microsoft Entra product lead, Mark Wall, and he recognized this 2 years ago, how critical it is to do what I was talking about a few minutes ago, this fine-grained compliant provisioning, but also access control. It's critical going forward, and they're choosing not to build it and doing the partnership with us. I also mentioned that, I just want to reinforce it, what really was the pivot here was our commitment to Microsoft for an annual spend commit. And that's because we're going to shift all of our Pathlock cloud wherever possible. It's never all, but wherever possible, will be optimized, delivered from Azure going into 26. So it's a pretty profound step up. We've seen the pipe that they've generated grow from, a 500,000 to 4 or 5 million in the last 6 weeks around the world. And we now have some assets that we can share with you that tell the story. It starts with a 6.5-minute, highly polished video. Again, our marketing team has done a tremendous job. And the 6.5-minute thing just immediately shows you how the two platforms work together. And strategically, Pathlock is a risk control engine sitting behind Entra. It's a very powerful story for those clients that are Microsoft managed themselves and are choosing to reevaluate some of the traditional identity platforms that have become very expensive. We also have a close to a 30-minute, we call it a fireside chat. We just got approval from Microsoft to share that yesterday. It's Mark Wall and one of our top sales engineers, Thomas Daughtry, literally walking through the rationale and the function and architecture of what this is to show how real it is. So we look forward to sharing that as well. The short message around the Microsoft world is where a client has committed to be Microsoft managed, as we have, and they're committing more materially to the Microsoft Entra identity product portfolio, we make it possible for them to truly do the full identity deployment. And we have quite a few clients today, both that just went into production and in pipe, that are choosing to reevaluate their existing identity platform commitments because they're not working. So that's the update on the Microsoft relationship. Let's talk about ServiceNow. You may know a lot of this, and that's why I emphasize the Microsoft Enterprise Managed relationship. And the key word there is enterprise. Of our 1,300 customers around the world, we're now up to 1,400, but the 1,300 that came with the companies that were acquired, there were some large ones, but not a lot. And so really our strategy is to become highly relevant, valuable, to larger organizations, not just commercial enterprises, but commercial enterprises first, for sure. And again, about a year ago, Haviv Roche chose to make a shift after, quite a few years owning the ITSM platform for ServiceNow, because he saw this incredible value proposition, because he's been working on it. You may know, but ServiceNow offers a GRC function. It's basically focused on not the core application transaction layer, but rather policy and workflow type things for approval. And it took a while for us to get to the ServiceNow leadership and have them fully understand that there's a very real better together story at the large enterprise level by doing a set of engineered integration as we have with Microsoft Entra ID Governance with the ServiceNow ITSM. And that is being built right now and will be in production by December. It's really, and we get this reaction a lot. I don't know how y'all feel, but when we're talking to very large enterprises, they've invested quite a bit in ServiceNow across many different functions. But I think of it as the security fabric in large enterprises. And so with Pathlock becoming, engineered into that, it's going to offer a tremendous amount of increased efficiency and effectiveness to large enterprises. The term is build partner. Just as we have it in Microsoft, we are transactable from their marketplace. We will become the integration, just the integration, not the whole software package, the integration with ServiceNow, and it's a set of integrations that will be licensed, will be available for ServiceNow customers to use their annual spend commit money to license that from the ServiceNow store. But Microsoft is now launched, and we're going to be getting pretty aggressive with the first MISA webinar and the press releases. You're going to start to see more about that. The ServiceNow will start in December and then really is set for 26. So those are the top line updates on these two. I would say both Microsoft and ServiceNow were so focused on that because of how partner friendly they are. Particularly Microsoft, they never require anything, but they really prefer that when they bring us a sourced opportunity, and they're doing that increasingly today, they want us to identify the preferred services partner for that enterprise. So more to come. We're still building, but we're very excited about it, and we appreciate your interest. Thank you.
Thank you, Shep. So with that, we've basically come to the end of the presentations. Before we start the Q&A session, we still have some time available for the Q&A session. I would like to summarize what we just heard today. So first we heard Shep starting and sharing our vision, which is basically an integrated platform that allows us to monitor and manage and testing around controls planes. And control planes are, for example, the identity, configuration of applications, dominance of a data set, and exercise controls over processes. And I think it's a very powerful story that we have. And if you also see how we are developing our solutions towards the future, you will see some very exciting times ahead. Then we saw Ryan give a presentation about professional services, and I was very happy with Ryan making the statement that next year we're not going to really expand our professional service partner, but that we really want to scale up the delivery by our partners, and that we want to be side by side by our partners to make those deliveries. So I think that's a very important message for you as a partner as well to hear. And I'm again very grateful again, Ryan, to make that statement. Ryan also spoke to us about, for example, the professional services packages that we have available and how our hierarchy model is basically giving guidance to any implementation that we jointly can do with partners. Then Shep basically shared the latest story about our Microsoft and ServiceNow strategic partnerships. And again, I think this is very exciting times ahead. When Shep and I speak to partners already about the Microsoft relationship or about the ServiceNow relationship, we see that many people are really interested and wanted to know more about this. So stay tuned on this. So with that, I'd like to hand over to Dimitri and see if there's any questions. I see we do have some questions in the chat box, so let's go over them.
Thank you, Peter. Hope you can hear me well. There is a question asked by Zahid. Is there a possibility to get contact from Pathlock, that is account manager or so for PwC Germany, to follow up on some topics?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I will take that question from you, Shep. Absolutely. Well, as Shep said, absolutely. What we'll do is that I will contact you after the call and then bring you in contact with Jan, who is the account manager for Germany.
Perfect. There was one comment from Tomasz that I think was answered privately, but I think all of the attendees would love to hear. So this Fortune 500 customer that we did the implementation, how long did it take?
Yeah, so that was a 4-month project. We did have a pilot that was prior to that customer won the pilot, and the pilot was roughly about four or 5 weeks. So I would say altogether that was about a 5 month project to end to end for all 4 modules.
Perfect. Yeah, some of the housekeeping questions. Will we share the recording after the call? Yes, absolutely. All the attendees will receive both the recording and the slides. And I'm looking through. Okay, can slides with Gartner recognition be shared? Again, I answered this privately to Tomasz, but if you're interested, drop me a note and I can prepare some slides and share those with you, as well as the press release that we have on our pathlock.com site. I think these are all the questions. We answered some questions privately, but I think we answered all that mattered to the public. So over to you, Peter. I think we're done here and we can conclude.
Okay. So with that, then, thank you, Dimitri, for the final closing words. First of all, I'd like to thank our presenters, Ryan and Shep, for the presentation. And Dimitri, thank you for setting up the call. And then lastly, but not least, thank you, partners, for joining this call. And be assured that this is the first of many calls where we will basically inform you about the latest and greatest of Pathlock. So stay tuned and looking forward to see you on the next calls. Thank you and have a great day.